Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you guys submit your gaming or Battlefield 3 related questions, and then I give my humble opinion on them. If you would like to submit your own question, you can do so by sending me a YouTube message with the title line Q&A, or you could just leave a comment down below, and I could potentially talk about it in an upcoming episode. The first question for today is, I'm really worried about the Crossbow. I hope it's balanced and it won't give the Aftermath owners an advantage versus those that don't have it in normal Karkin close quarter maps. What do you think? Yeah, I'm actually quite worried about the Crossbow in Battlefield 3. It's not for the fact that it's a crossbow. I mean, it's just a different weapon. I think it's kind of cool, actually. Having a crossbow at your disposal sounds like a lot of fun. It just sounds like a different weapon to take out your enemies. And I know some people will claim that this all of a sudden makes Battlefield 3 more like the Call of Duty franchise. I think that is an extremely weak argument. It's just a different weapon. I mean, there are weapons in Battlefield 3 that are in Call of Duty. And because they overlap, that doesn't mean all of a sudden they're the same game. I mean, this is a first-person shooter, and I guess I could make an entire video on this topic, so I'm not even going to start here. But the main reason why I'm a little worried about the crossbow and it being implemented in the game is the way that they are implementing it into the game. And the first reason why I'm a little concerned is that any class can use it. It just gets rid of your equipment slot. And at first glance, you really wouldn't think that this would be that large of an issue. It just would be one more tool in your arsenal to take out your targets, and that's completely fine. But the fact that it has different ammo types and in combination that with every single class being able to use it is where I feel like we're going to start to run into some problems. If you're not aware, there's 4 different ammo types for the crossbow. There's one that makes you effective at medium range engagements, one that makes it into more of a sniper weapon. The third one is basically a motion sensor at the tip of it, so it sounds similar to the Bad Company 2's motion balls. And then finally we have the high explosives, which is apparently good against enemy vehicles. We don't know if it's good against like the main heavy battle tanks, but it's probably good against enemy jeeps or maybe even lighter armored vehicles. I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see when more information is released. But regardless, this truly has the potential of completely changing the dynamic of the game. I mean, it's essentially going to blend the classes together, and they're not going to be as distinct as they were before. A really good example of this is that you could basically play as an assault class, use some of the best weapons in the game, slap on the motion sensor ammo for the crossbow, and then now all of a sudden you're a recon like you were in Battlefield Bad Company 2, but with an assault rifle in your hands, and that sounds like a pretty crazy and deadly combination. Not only that, but you could play as a recon and use the explosive ammo for the crossbow and now take out enemy vehicles, which you definitely couldn't before. And so I know some people out there kind of like this idea of being able to play as a recon or even playing as an assault and having the capability to take out enemy vehicles, and that does sound appealing, but then it also kind of diminishes the usefulness of the other classes out there. It's kind of like, why would I want to play as an engineer when I could use the explosive ammo on the assault class and all of a sudden, you know, have an amazing weapon and also the capability to take out enemy vehicles. So it's going to really come down to how effective these ammo types are and how useful they are. I know we don't really have a whole lot of information out there, but hopefully you guys can see where I'm coming from and see basically how they're kind of blending classes together and how this could really change the dynamic of the game and really not for the better. So I definitely share your concerns. I'm very worried. Hopefully DICE knows what they're doing and they're going to implement this well, but like I said, this kind of worries me. The next question for today is, do you think the new game mode Scavenger is going to be fun? I think that the weapons will be placed on the battlefield where everyone that played the map a bit knows where all the good weapons are. The other option for DICE is to let weapons be randomly dropped on the battlefield. What do you think about this? So what I think you're saying here is you don't want the weapons to spawn in the same location every single time, so that if you have played the map before, you're going to be at a huge advantage for those players that haven't, and you're just going to get the good weapons on the map and then just destroy everyone on the battlefield. If that is the case, I don't think I agree with you. There are a lot of games out there that have this type of system where there are power weapons on the map. The Halo franchise is a great example where everyone knows where the great weapons spawn, and those places are contested. And I think that's going to be a pretty cool dynamic in the Scavenger the game mode. People are going to know where the best assault rifles are on the map, or kind of know the general spawn locations of them. I think that what DICE said is that the spawn locations are going to be consistent, so only assault rifles or the higher tiered weapons are going to spawn in that certain spot, but it may not spawn there every single time, so it might bounce around. I think that's what they said in the article, but hopefully what they're going to do is there's going to be these weapons or highly prized weapons that people are going to fight over. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic of people capturing objectives, because that's how you're going to win the match, and fighting over the best weapons, you know, laying out on the battlefield. They're going to be your power weapons, like in the Halo franchise. And I think that's going to be a pretty fun dynamic. It'll be interesting to see how DICE kind of implements everything and how random everything is, but I honestly feel like it's going to bring some freshness into the matches and into the game in general, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I am definitely looking forward to the game mode. I think it's going to be great. The final question for today is, what is the social stigma about claymores? I throw dozens of AT mines down in a game with no issues, but the moment I put down a single claymore, people complain. I've noticed this on various people commentaries and gameplays as well, but there's really no explanation. Surely using an anti-tank rocket versus infantry is more worthy of condemnation than using anti-infantry mines the way it was intended. Yeah, I find it pretty funny when people get upset about claymores in Battlefield 3, because in all honesty, I think that they're a pretty terrible equipment slot for the class in general. I mean, every once in a while you'll get a kill with them, but I remember a couple of months ago, Level Cap was trying to go for one of the achievements, or maybe he was trying to unlock one of the weapon camos, I really can't remember, but I remember he was just fuming because he could simply just not get any kills with the attachment. You know, people would run by, he would get some damage off on them, but he was just not able to get any kills with them. So I find it pretty amusing that people still get upset about the claymores. I don't die to them very often. Every once in a while it happens, and of course I get a little frustrated, but that's simply because I don't like dying. And I think the main reason why there is this stigma behind people using the claymores is for a couple of reasons. The first reason being is that when someone dies to a claymore, it's just that they died, and people don't like to die in video games. They probably get a little annoyed when it happens. They probably get a little frustrated. So that initial frustration is probably kind of combined with the fact that a lot of people don't really think claymores require a lot of skill. I don't even think claymores require skill. You just kind of place it down. I mean, sure, it does require some sort of knowledge of the map and some sort of knowledge of how the claymore works to place it down in a key location, but once you place it down, you know, you just kind of set it and forget it, and if you get a kill with it, then awesome. But it doesn't really require a lot of skill. So I think the combination of they're a little frustrated that they got killed by one, or they just died, and the fact that it was a claymore and something that didn't require any skill, I think that combination is just why so many people just hate that equipment. That's just my opinion though. But yeah guys, that wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed, but before I go, I would love to hear what you guys think about today's topics. Are you excited about the Scavenger game mode? What do you guys think about the new Crossbow? Let me know in the comments section below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, always remember to leave a rating and also subscribe for more. But until next time guys, have a good one and take it easy.